Hi friends, today is my entry for the Spring Fling Swap hosted by MnMe Crafts. I am so excited to show you this, you guys. I've had a lot going on in my personal life and I really just needed to zone out, create some pretty flowers, and just get some of that creative energy out there. And I was able to do that with this swap. So the idea is that you make a dozen flowers and you package them pretty somehow, like however you want. And it has to be thin enough to fit in a packet. So I decided to use Scrap Diva Designs luggage die, and isn't that so stinking cute? I just layered it up with flowers. I used some of her flowers in the front and some from my stash. This bloom is from one of her word sets. I'll list that in the description below where I got that from. And I also used a conversation heart in the back. So this one says goodies. This one says hello crafty friend. And this one says handmade. And once I got the flowers down, I basically made a whole bunch of different types of flowers from the dies that I had and I was going to pick just one. And when I was looking at them, I picked my 3 favorites that I had made and decided just to do a whole bunch of flowers in those styles. And it was really easy for me to do that. I did go overboard because everyone's going to get maybe 30 flowers plus these little golden leaves. So I added those in there. I think they mostly fell to the back. But those are in there as well. And I do want to talk about how I cut my leaves out. So the paper that I used, this gold paper, it's from Sizzix, and it's really kind of hard to cut out sometimes, I've noticed. So if you ever have a difficult die, or if you have difficult paper to cut things out on, I highly suggest getting this chrome precision plate from Sizzix. You are going to want to get a magic mat with that because I will tell you this warps your plates bad. So don't use the plastic kind. Use the ones that can heal. There's so little room for the mats to go through. There's not a lot of give. So it will create bubbles where the die passes, at least on the magic mat. On the regular plastic ones, it just bends them quickly. It ends their life quicker than normal running through the machine. So definitely want to pick these 2 up. It will save you time, and the magic mats always heal perfectly flat, so you don't have to worry about ruining that. And then for the dies that I used that were Scrap Divas, I used this one. So this is the Suitcase Box. The little bow actually came from this heart pocket that she came out with for Valentine's Day, and this is what that bow looks like, and it fit perfectly. She has this purse strap collection that has all of these different types of purse straps, and I just really liked the little doily edge on here, so I decided to give it some lace, and I think that just worked out so pretty. It also went with the bow perfectly. So this is the word set that I got the word bloom from, and I'll find out which word set that is and put it in the description below. I believe this is a rose flower. And then this is the flower that I got the leaves from. So this is her first flower that she came out with, and I believe it's just called Flower or Flower Die Set. And then this one is a planter, I want to say. And I think it's for a gift card or just some kind of greeting card. And then these 2 right here, this is all that I used from this die set to make my favorite flower, which is this one. So these boxes are going out today. I'm just going to wrap them up and go to the post office. Then I will show you how I make the flowers. Again, I will attach that to the back end, so stay right there. And don't forget to check the description below. Again, I'll definitely link MnMe Crafts YouTube channel, so you're going to want to follow her Spring Fling Swap. There's going to be a lot of inspiration and a lot of talented people. So I knew right away that I really wanted to use a shaping mold for these flowers, and I used the Heartfelt Creations shaping molds. They recently switched their business model to do an SVG only company now, and they unloaded all of their shaping molds and I believe their dies. They also had stamps. I'm not sure if they still sell the stamps or not, that go with the flower. So it was like this whole big system that you can get for flower making. They do now, they still sell the SVGs that fit the molds, so that's good. And I have seen the molds being sold on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon, so I know you can find these still. So definitely, if you're interested, do not hesitate, run. If you can find it, grab it. These molds are so worth it. So anyways, I basically used, so this one goes to the one that was on top. So this one is called the Floral Basics Shaping Mold. And it is so good because you can use any flower shape in here as long as it's the right size. And then you have all these different size options. So big flowers to small flowers. And I used this mold on all of them except this little guy. So this one, I used the small 3D Wild Rose shaping mold. It's a 5-petal mold, and again, you have various sizes. So, which is great because a lot of these dies have various sizes with it, and so you can just cut your petals out and then match what's going to fit within the mold. And then for the stamp, like I said, this company does have their own stamps, but I really wanted a stamp that was versatile that I could use on any flower that I was making. Elizabeth Craft Designs, and these are called flower centers, and they're just very basic, all-purpose centers for flowers of any kind. And they even have little petal shapes, which I really, really appreciate. I think these are just gorgeous, and I love what they did to my flowers so much. The ink that I used are all Ranger inks, and I did play around with the colors. So for this one, I used Picked Raspberry, Kitsch Flamingo. The orange, I used Abandoned Coral. This one is Wilted Violet. And for the yellow ones, I used Carved Pumpkin. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and stamp these while they're dry, because you are going to have to wet the molds, and you want these to have some time to dry before you put them in the mold. So I'm going to use these 2 sizes for this flower, for the inner and the outer flowers. And the ones that I sent to Patty, I actually flipped these ones for the back and used this as well. So I'm just flipping them around, and this is something that you don't have to do. I just did it on accident, to be honest, with one of my early flowers, and it was when I was trying to decide what stamp to use on which flower, and then I just flipped it around. I used the other stamp, and when I put the flower together, I really liked that look on the underside so much, so I kept it for this flower shape only. And I just want to show you exactly what I did to make those flowers. I don't know if I'll do that every time, but I think it gives it like a little special touch. For this one, I just used this stamp in this size. Okay, so now that my stamping is done, I'm going to put most of these aside, and I think I'm going to work on these guys first while those dry. Okay, so for this, you do not want to drench your mold. So basically just a couple of sprints to make sure that you have good coverage, and that's all you're going to need. And then I also want to show that this is going to be like the facing side of your flower. So whatever the indented side is. So when you put the mold together, it's so easy because they come with these little notches. So you just need to line those up, and then you want to sandwich it between 2 cutting boards. I like to use my magic mats. And this is how they turned out. So what I'm going to do, give it a little bit of time to dry, and then you can do additional shaping. And what I like to do is just bend the flowers back a little bit more. So you see how this flower didn't quite fit in the shape, but it still works, and you can still bend the flowers as needed, however you want them to look. So the way that I stacked these, I did 2 same sizes and then 1 of the small ones for the middle. Now for the centers, for the roses, I used these little stamen pieces, and these came from Amazon. So I think they were just like pearlized flower centers or stamens. I'm not really sure, but that is the label for those. And then I just used felt on everything else, which made it super easy. And I think that it turned out really cute. And then for the backing on these ones, if you saw, they're a little unfinished. So normally you can just glue this on like a leaf or maybe another flower like layer if you wanted to like clean it up. I didn't do that. I just cut it, and then I used this interface. It's really delicate, but it's like a tearaway interfacing that I'm pretty sure I got from Joann's, and it's like tissue, and I like it because when you use hot glue on it, it just kind of melts and nothing's gonna move, so it's there forever. So thank you so much for watching my tutorial. As always, I'll have everything listed in the description. Don't forget to hop over to Mommy and Me Crafts YouTube channel. She's already uploaded this particular swap reveal, so go ahead and check out her unboxing. It's a lot of fun to watch, and also so many talented people entered the swap, you guys. So many ideas and inspiration going on over there, so definitely check it out.